Chapter 5. No swearing at the table, then don't talk about that beep Nero. I wish we could have had regular small talk around the dinner table. The weather, who liked whom at school, which gods were casting plagues on which cities and why. But no, it was always about who was trying to kill me. I didn't want to ruin anyone's appetite, especially since Paul's savory family recipe lasagna was making me drool like Estelle. Also, I wasn't sure I trusted Lugu enough to share my whole story. Meg had no such qualms. She opened up about everything that we'd been through, with the exception of the tragic deaths. I was sure she only skipped those to spare Sally and Paul from worrying too much about Percy. I don't think I'd ever heard Meg talk as much as she did at Sally and Paul's dinner table, as if the presence of kindly parental figures had uncorked something inside her. Meg told them of our battles with Commodius and Caligula. She explained how we had freed our 4 ancient oracles and had now returned to New York to face the last and most powerful emperor, Nero. Paul and Sally listened intently, interrupting only to express concern or sympathy. When Sally looked at me and said, "You poor dear," I almost lost it again. I wanted to cry on her shoulder. I wanted Paul to dress me in a yellow onesie and rock me until I fell asleep. "So Nero is after you?" Paul said at last. "The Nero? A Roman emperor has set up his evil lair in a midtown high-rise?" He sat back and placed his hands on the table, as if trying to digest the news along with the meal. "I guess that's not the craziest thing I've heard. But now you have to do what? Defeat him in combat? Another Battle of Manhattan?" I shuddered. "I hope not. The battle with Commodius and Caligula was hard for Camp Jupiter. If I asked Camp Half-Blood to attack Nero's base?" "No!" Lou dipped her garlic bread in her salad dressing, proving her barbarian bona fides. "A large-scale assault would be suicide. Nero is expecting one. He's hoping for one. He's prepared to cause massive collateral damage." Outside, rain lashed the windows. Lightning boomed as if Zeus were warning me not to get too comfortable with these kindly surrogate parents. As much as I distrusted Lugu, I believed what she said. Nero would relish a fight, despite what had happened to his 2 comrades in the Bay Area, or maybe because of it. I was afraid to ask what Lou meant by massive collateral damage. An all-out war with Nero would not be another Battle of Manhattan. When Kronos' army had stormed the Empire State Building, the entrance to Mount Olympus, the Titan Morpheus had put all the mortals in the city to sleep. The damage to the city itself and its human population had been negligible. Nero did not work that way. He liked drama. He would welcome chaos, screaming crowds, countless civilian deaths. This was a man who'd burn people alive to illuminate his golden parties. "There has to be another way," I decided. "I won't let any more innocents suffer on my account." Sally Jackson crossed her arms. In spite of the grim matters that we were discussing, she smiled. "You've grown up." I assumed she was talking about Meg. Over the last few months, my young friend had indeed gotten taller and... Wait, was Sally referring to me? My first thought. Preposterous. I was 4,000 years old. I didn't grow up. She reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "The last time you were here, you were so lost. So, well, if you don't mind me saying..." "Pathetic," I blurted out. "Whiny, entitled, selfish." I felt terribly sorry for myself. Meg nodded along with my words, as if listening to her favorite song. "You still feel worried for yourself." "But now," Sally said, sitting back again, "you're more human, I suppose." There was that word again. Human. Which, not long ago, I would have considered a terrible insult. Now, every time I heard it, I thought of Jason Grace's admonition. Remember what it's like to be human.